everyone. It is Maundy Thursday. I am so glad you're here and taking this time to remember this day and to celebrate Christ. Um, Looking forward to it. It's an unorthodox way for us to do this, of course, but we're excited we still get to do it. And what a better way to celebrate than with your family, in the comfort of your home where you can be intimate yourselves. The, the night that Jesus was with his disciples in the upper room, it was a very casual setting. He was among his friends. There was no big to-do or fuss as far as dressing up for the occasion. So we're going to celebrate in much the same way, a very casual setting. Be casual at home. Don't worry about what clothes you're wearing. Focus more about on Christ and on the Holy Spirit and allowing him to speak to you tonight as we do this. Let's begin with prayer. Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for the opportunity to celebrate Holy Communion, to remember what you did for us, and to remember this time that you spent with your disciples. We do ask that you be with us as we worship you tonight and as we learn more about you, Lord, that wherever we are, you fill the space that we are in with your Holy Spirit, and that you guide us through this. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're going to be looking at several scriptures today. I don't expect you to be flipping back and forth through them. They will be out of the book of Matthew and John. But just follow along, soak in the word. If you want to look them up, fine, but you don't have to bother do this. So let's get started. John, chapter 13, verse 1. It was just before the Passover feast. Jesus knew that the time had come for him to leave this world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he now showed them the full extent of his love. The Passover was a time for the Israelites to celebrate God removing them from Egyptian captivity, a time to remember what he had done for them, a time to share together in a special meal, the Passover meal, the Feast of the Unleavened Bread. Matthew 26, verses 17 through 19 will continue. On the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Where do you want us to make preparations for you to eat the Passover?" He replied, "Go into the city to a certain man and tell him, 'The teacher says, my appointed time is near. I am going to celebrate the Passover with my disciples at your house.'" So the disciples did as Jesus had directed them and prepared the Passover. The disciples did as Jesus had instructed. It's very similar to what happened Palm Sunday. Jesus gave them directions about going to the town, finding a donkey, and now he tells them to go into the town and find a man who would provide a place for them to join together in the special Passover meal. And then they went, and they did just that. They prepared the meal, they set everything up, and maybe some of the ladies helped them, it doesn't say, but regardless, the meal was set up, and it was in an upper room, probably in the second or third story of a building overlooking part of the city. It was a private place, a secluded place where it was just going to be Jesus and the 12. The others left, and it was just them to celebrate the meal together. The 12 and Jesus. This quiet, intimate, relaxed evening to be together and to remember God's blessings. John 13, verses 2 through 25 continue the story. The evening meal was being served, and the devil already prompted Judas Iscariot, son of Simon, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around his waist. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." "No," said Peter, "you will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part of me." "Then, Lord," Simon Peter replied, "not just my feet, but my hands and my head also." Jesus answered, "A person who has had a bath needs only to wash his feet, and then his whole body is clean. And you are clean, though not every one of you." For he knew he was going to betray him, and that was why he said, "Not every one is clean." When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand? You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, wa- Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. I tell you the truth. No servant is greater than his master, nor a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. I am not referring to all of you. I know those who I have chosen, but this was to fulfill the scripture. He who shares my bread has lifted up his heel against me. I am telling you now before it happens, so that when it does happen, you will believe that I am he. I tell you the truth, whoever accepts anyone I send accepts me, and whoever accepts me accepts the one who has sent me. After he had said this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and testified, I tell you the truth, one of you is going to betray me. His disciples stared at one another, at a loss to know which of them he meant. One of them, the disciple whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to Jesus. Simon Peter motioned to his disciple and said, Ask him which one he means. Leaning back against Jesus, he asked him, Lord, who is it? Jesus, in this moment with his disciples, did the unthinkable. He humbled himself and washed the feet of the disciples. You see, washing a person's feet is a sign of hospitality. As people traveled in Jesus' day, their feet would be nasty from the dirt on the ground. And when a person went to someone's house, the host or hostess of that house would then wash the people's feet as a sign of hospitality and welcome to them, a sign of humbling themselves as a servant to those who were in the room. And that's exactly what Jesus did for them. He lowered himself to care for these others. He was setting an example for the disciples of humility and servanthood. They were no greater from those they would be serving, and they needed to understand that. He was trying to teach them that they were no greater than those that they would be teaching about Christ in the days to come. He was trying to warn them of the coming painful events over the next 24 hours, so they would believe that he truly was the Messiah. What he is telling them now is going to come true. He was just going to reaffirm their faith and their belief in Jesus Christ. The disciples were going to be sent out into all the world. And they needed to know that when they went and people accepted them and accepted the message they were sharing, it was that the people were really accepting Christ. And by accepting Christ, they were accepting God the Father. As they sat there, Jesus dropped the bomb on them that someone would betray them that night. Matthew 26 through 29. Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, Surely not I, Rabbi. Jesus answered, Yes, it is you. While they were eating, Jesus took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and he gave it to his disciples, saying, Take and eat, this is my body. Then he took the cup, gave thanks, and offered it to them, saying, Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from the fruit of the vine from now on with you in my Father's kingdom. Jesus had been trying to tell them what they were missing. They just weren't picking up the clues. He explained to them how to share in Holy Communion. He showed them how to take the bread and let it represent his body, and to take the wine and let it represent his blood. He knew he was no longer going to be with them, even though they didn't get it. And he wanted them to understand a way to still spend time with him, even though he wouldn't physically be with them. A way for him to spend time with them in the Spirit. A time for them to share communion with one another and remember all that Christ had done for them. As we said, around the same time, the questions were flying. Judas had even asked himself, Is it I, Lord? And Jesus had told Judas it was. In John chapter 13, 26 through 30, we read Jesus answered, before all the disciples, as far as the one who was to betray me, Jesus answered, "It is the one to whom I will give this piece of bread when I have dipped it into the dish." Then dipping the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, son of Simon. As soon as Judas took the bread, Satan entered into him. "What you are about to do quickly," Jesus told him. But no one at the meal understood why Jesus had said this to him. Since Judas had charge of the money, some thought Jesus was telling him to go and buy what was needed for the meal, or maybe go and give money to the poor. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. Jesus was putting into motion the wheels that needed to be started to carry out what he had to do, to be able to honor God and to be able to take on the cross. He sent Judas on his way, and then the rest of the disciples were clueless still as to what was going on. Jesus had dipped the bread, said that I'm going to give it to the one that's going to betray me, but they still were not comprehending. But we can't blame them. They had traveled all 3 years with Judas by their side. He was one of the disciples. They had seen him minister to others. He fit the purse for them. He had the funds when they needed meals. Why wouldn't they have trusted him? They had no reason to doubt that he was as loyal to Jesus as they all were. There was no need for them to question Judas. So, them not quite understanding, it makes sense. He was their fellow disciple, a man whom they loved and whom they had ministered alongside of. John 13:31-8 continues the story and says, when he was gone, that's Judas, when Judas was gone, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will glorify the Son in himself and will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and just as I told the Jews, so I tell you now. Where I am going, you cannot go." A new commandment I give you. Love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. Simon Peter asked him, "Lord, where are you going?" Jesus replied, "Where I am going you cannot follow, but you will follow later." Peter asked, "Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you." Then Jesus answered, "Will you really lay down your life for me? I tell you the truth, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." Jesus had placed those wheels in motion. He had sent Judas on his way. He knew that through his sacrificial act of going to the cross, that the Lord would be glorified, that God would be glorified, and through God's glorification, Jesus would be glorified. He tells the disciples again, "I will only be with you," and they couldn't go with him to where he was going. Only Christ could take the cross. It was only he that could take on the sins of the world. The disciples could not do this. They could not follow him to this. They could not ascend to the Father yet. It was not their time to go. Eventually, Christ knew they would be joining him in heaven with the Lord. And so he says, "You can't follow me now, but you'll be able to follow me later." To which then Peter gives his undying devotion to Christ. "I will follow you everywhere, even to death." And Jesus is, saying, "Really? No, you're not. You are going to deny me 3 times. Not just 3 times, but 3 times before the rooster crows. 3 times before morning. You are going to deny me." Peter had to be crushed by this. He had to be confused, and of course be denying the fact that he would be denying Christ. He had given his life to the Lord. He had given his life to Christ, and he intended to follow through with that, or at least so he thought. Then Jesus took time with them to teach them. He taught them things like that he was the only way to the Father. That he went before them, and his Father had many mansions. Those scriptures being read oftentimes at the loss of loved ones. He shares that with them. He promises the Holy Spirit will come after him and will fill them and be with them. He teaches about the vine and the branches, that he is the vine, and the Father is the gardener, and he will prune off those who are not bearing fruit, those who are not productive for Christ. He warns about the coming hatred that's going to be passed toward the disciples, the same hatred he was experiencing, that the disciples were going to experience it as well. And then he teaches them about prayer. And then in this moment, in this intimate moment with them, knowing that his death on the cross is pending, he prays for his disciples. He prayed for them. But he didn't stop there. He also prayed for future believers. He prayed for you. That night, in the upper room with the 12, he prayed for you as well as his beloved that were surrounding him. And then, Matthew 26:30. When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. They ended the night with a hymn, and they went to the Mount of Olives, where things were going to change drastically. If only the disciples could have understood exactly what was going on, if only they had comprehended what Jesus was saying, they could have soaked up this night so much more. They obviously remembered it. It meant a lot to them. It's in the Gospels. But had they fully understood what Christ was telling them, they would have soaked in every ounce of his body, every ounce of his breath. But they didn't. Tonight, this afternoon, this evening, as you spend time with your family, I pray that you will soak up the Holy Spirit, that you will soak up Christ and not take it for granted. I encourage you to follow Jesus as an example and humble yourselves before each other. Watch each other's feet. These aren't strangers. These are people you know and love. But if you don't feel comfortable washing each other's feet, wash each other's hands. You know, back in the day, the feet were what got the nastiest for those who walked on the dirt streets. We learned through this virus, if no other time, that our hands, obviously, are what get the nastiest on us. So if you don't want to wash each other's feet, wash each other's hands. Get you a cloth. You've got towels at your house. You've got water. You've got a bowl. Even if you have a pitcher, you've got a glass. Put some water in the bowl. Take it. Share it with your family. Wash each other's hands and feet. You will be amazed how unbelievable and how intimate that can be. Then, once you've done that, take time to share it with me. The words of institution that we say each day when we partake of communion can be found in Matthew 26, verses 26 through 29. You can use those verses as you do it, and as you take the bread and you take it, and you say, "This is my body which is broken for you." And then as you take the cup, and you say, "This is my blood of the new covenant, poured out for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in remembrance of me." If you believe in Jesus Christ, celebrate that tonight. Celebrate it by partaking of communion with one another. Tonight is a night to remember Christ and all he's done for you. A time to celebrate with your family as Christ celebrated with his. Let us pray. Father, we thank you for the gift of your body and blood, for your willingness to give yourself on the cross so that we can be forgiven of sins. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to remember you. We thank you for providing the concept and the idea of communion so that we can really and truly remember you. Bless each of us as we receive tonight. In Jesus' name. Happy Maundy Thursday.